Happy Day of Resurrection from St. Augustine, West St. Augustine, Florida. I was called here today. This is an abandoned cemetery. Actually, it's two. The San Sebastian and the Pinehurst. This is one of my favorite places here, and I don't know how long I'll be able to stay because you can probably hear the thunder, and it has already started to rain. I was called here today to burn sage and light candles, but I can't. It's raining. I don't remember exactly when this cemetery was built. I included the cemetery in my earlier video about how the tweak in time can be shown in very old headstones. And I learned that this cemetery was abandoned in the 1960s when the owner died, and that it had primarily been a black cemetery. What's very nice, actually, is that I left that piece of jewelry on Florence's stone there the last time I was here, and it's still here. There's also a balloon, so she still has family that visits her. I'm going to walk around and share this as long as I can, as long as the room will let me. As long as the rain will let me. The cemetery is surrounded by ponds and artesianal springs and natural bodies of water. And so, as is common in many places in the South, coffins are entombed because of the water. And as you will see, there are some stones that have been very upset by the water. Just on the other side of the trees there is a big marsh. Beautiful. I suppose I could probably, as long as I'm under the trees, I could probably smudge a little bit. Let's see if I can get it to light. I'm trying to light my sage. Trying to do this with the hand I can use. I don't know if this is going to work. Nope, I can't get it to light. It's just a little too breezy. But I think I can probably, doing everything one-handed. Let me go ahead and walk and show you as much as I can before the rain kicks me out. You see there, the flood, just the normal flooding water has done some damage here. And you see the flooding water has very affected that one right there. I don't know if the city still has record of the people that are interned here. And you see it's completely open there. See, there's someone there, no kind of marking. And some of these stones are very old. St. Augustine closed the city to burials as a result of the yellow fever epidemic, which was, gosh, I don't recall exactly, 1830s, perhaps. And the cemetery on the other side of the fence, which is Evergreen Cemetery, was the first cemetery outside of the city walls. This one was opened for the black Protestants, the black people that were not Catholic. (1916). See, there are some... I don't like to spend too much time on people's names. I don't have their permission, really, to be filming their names, but see, we have no idea who's here. Or who's here. It would have been a whole family. We have no idea. (1977). That one's not that old. That's interesting because the cemetery, I remember the owner died in the 60s, but I guess people were keeping it open nonetheless. I don't remember where the stone is, but there is a beautiful, beautiful stone of a woman, a very ornate stone, of a woman that had skulls and leaves and things in the marble that made me think she might have been Caribbean. I don't remember exactly where it is. I hope to see that one. 1926. Let's see, we don't know who's there. And what I noticed last time is you can see the people who still have family because their crypts or stones are maintained. You know, these people obviously have no one else in the area to maintain their place. And when these were interned, they were these, whatever that material is, was marking of their name and date of passing. 2016. Interesting. Okay, it's really starting to rain. I'm seeing a lot of lightning, and I left my umbrella in the car, so I think I'm probably going to wrap this up. Okay, that one was concrete, and someone's hand wrote on the concrete. I can't read what it says. More of these with the deteriorated composite material of some sort. And then there's another whole cemetery back there. But I'm not going to be able to walk back there for you today. I don't want to get stuck in the deluge. I visited another cemetery just before here and was absolutely stuck in the deluge. You see back there, there's a whole other cemetery, and that right there, let's see if I can zoom in. There's a fallen tree right over a stone. It's a Korean War vet under there. See, we don't know who's there. a metal stone instead of marble, or maybe it's just a marker after the fact. 1926, 1925. There's another that would have entombed an entire family. We have no idea who's there, or there, or there. Ah, 1948. And that one, see, has been completely unearthed and knocked off. What's on the other side of this cemetery is another fence, and that's part of the Evergreen Cemetery, which is still, I think it's still open. Caldecott, the gentleman who wrote children's books, is interned there at that cemetery. See, half of his stone is buried, so we don't know when he passed. (1927). We've got another handwritten stone here. That's I don't like to get people's names. Don't have their permission to be broadcasting their names. 1921. There's an upended cross here. 1921. That cross. I'm so drawn to that cross. Oh. 1935. So this would have been a whole family. 1927, 1943. I'm sad I have a whole bag full of things. I suppose I have things to leave. Gifts to leave. I will. Person left. Very drawn to this one over here. 1915. Things to leave. Oh, look, there's a shell. So that's something that I learned when I was, I don't want to get their name, when I was reading about this cemetery. A lot of these people are Caribbean, and it's traditional in African cultures to leave shells instead of flowers on top of markers. So I'm leaving stones where I'm called to leave. 19. I can't read it. Yeah, the Evergreen Cemetery is right on the other side of that fence. Clearly, someone in that family is still around. We don't know who this is. Oh dear. This is a whole family, or at least two people. We don't know who those people are. 1946. We don't know. Oh, no, it says who it is. I can't read it. There's been some damage done. I wonder, I guess a tree must have fallen and broken the fence down. I don't know, but obviously a great bit of damage. And then, on the other side of those trees in the bamboo is the evergreen cemetery. So, got a soldier. So, whole family in here. At least two people. And some other family. Those have stones, and these look to be just handwritten, which is interesting. I don't want to walk in there and step. I can't light a candle, so I'll leave one. Uh, 1908. I can't read that one. Born 1825, but when they passed away, it's covered up. Look at that. Oh my goodness. The tree has grown around her. We can't see when she was born or passed. I think I'm out of gifts. 1978. And see, someone has left a stone on there. Well, that's interesting. They didn't mark when she passed. Clearly she's in there. We don't know. This is back where we started. I'm getting drenched. You hear the thunder. The Riley family. Oh, I shouldn't be standing here. 1915. And there's where I left that piece of jewelry last time I was here. 1947. Got a whole family here. 1944. 2009. All right, well, things don't always work out the way we want them to. It's just names. I don't want to use their names without their permission. Can't read that beautiful one. Oh, can I? Oh, it's handwritten. Look at this tree. Wonderful cypress tree. I have distributed my gifts. See, that's another thing. There is someone buried in there. and a tree was planted on top of it, which I am to understand is another African tradition. And I think that's the most civilized way to go. Oh, here's another one. You see, there's two people in here and a tree planted between them. Very civilized. Much more civilized than... And all these stones, see, are here, left at some point by friends and family, as I did. I'm sorry I didn't find that Caribbean-themed stone to show you. Perhaps it's way back there, and I don't want to run the risk of going way back there. 1912, 1916, 1917. That one has some carved and handwork. All right, well, you see, this is just in a quiet neighborhood that is still very northeastern Florida, cypress and pine trees. Very peaceful here. It's a very peaceful cemetery. I'm sorry I'm just not willing to go in the back and take the risk of getting completely drenched. But thank you for hanging out with me. Oh, someone just planted that. Oh, they just planted that for their family. 1911. So it's more than one member of the family. Interesting. There's just one. Oh, and look at this. Oh my goodness. All right. Happy day of resurrection to you. And I'm going to go home and make a cup of coffee and start putting together my video about another cemetery. That's the Tolomato Cemetery that is within the old city. It was right outside the first city barricade in the colonial days. It was originally an indigenous settlement of the Gaul indigenous people that came down from Georgia to escape the abuse of the English plantation owners, and Spain was very accepting of escaped slaves, be they indigenous or well, all indigenous people, regardless of the color of their skin, including escaped American slaves of the North. And it was a habitation, and then when the Spanish arrived, it became a mission. And when the Spanish, good, godly Christian people decided that they needed some place to bury their good, godly Catholic parishioners, they completely usurped the indigenous burial grounds that are there. So it is the oldest cemetery in Florida. It might be the oldest cemetery in the nation. I'm not sure. Well, shall we say Christian cemetery. Of course, it's not the oldest cemetery. The oldest Christian cemetery in the nation. It's a representation of all of the different people that were here. Haitian, Cuban, Western European, little bit of everything. Yankees, and buried on top of the holy ground of the Timucua and the Gold. And It is a very well protected cemetery because there are very old stones, older than here. There are stones from the 1700s there, and it's gated up and protected and you can't get in. But once a month they open the gates and let people in with very watchful eyes. And I went in yesterday and took some pictures and left some gifts and vibed it out. So lightning just was very close to my head. You might have seen it flash. Thank you for hanging out with me. Happy, blessed Resurrection Day from the souls at the Pinehurst and the San Sebastian in West St. Augustine, Florida. Medusa was framed saying ciao, love, aloha.